Alright, so I just woke up and I'm sorry that my voice sounds like this. It's currently 10:15 in the morning and we're continuing with the insane situation in regards of Kris Tyson. What I will tell you is that a lot of information is spewed out and we have unintentionally have seen the rabbit hole of Kris Tyson. And every time that there's new information, we all didn't know about it. Like, we got news on Reddit, we got new shit. They got connections with Jeanette McCurdy, which is one of the actors of iCarly, where in his old YouTube channel, he shared revenge porn pics with his audience of the actor from iCarly. So just like from last time, we're going to be making another long video of the rabbit hole that we've all dug deep to know how terrible of a person Kris Tyson was behind the scenes and before he got a rise to fame being friends with Mr. Beast. So without further ado, let's begin. An anonymous user came out overnight posting screenshots of him and Mr. Beast member Kris Tyson texting. Kris sent many sexual messages when he was 18 and the anonymous user was 14. But apparently these videos are clearly fake. Number one, first video shows today in a message thread supposedly from 2020. If these were old screen recordings, Ava's profile name wouldn't be Kris Tyson since she hadn't announced her transition until 2023. X Archives proves this to be the case. Like I said, there's been a lot of information regarding Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast. It's far worse than Dr. Disrespect, but the so-called influencers haven't said a word about it, which is true. Kris had inappropriate conversations with several minors, used the N-word with the hard R on stream, provided revenge porn for kids, while Mr. Beast let go of him. There's more proof of Kris Tyson being a pedophile. It says Mr. Beast member Kris Tyson has had all messages resurface from his Reddit account, TysonBoy34. All messages are very disturbing and talk about R-word and teen love at 14 years old. Why the fuck would you see your VR headset for anything other than 3D lollygang R-word porn? Jesus. But you can still get teen love. 14-year-olds always stay 14. Jesus fuck. Bonus said it. The Tyson Boy 34 also talks about North Carolina's age of consent laws in a comment below. In North Carolina, the rule is if the minor is 16 or 17, then the other person has to be within 5 years within his age. So a 16-year-old can only be with a 21-year-old at the highest. But then once you turn 18, it doesn't matter. Ava grew up in North Carolina, so there's a lot of things here to overlap to substantiate that this was Ava's old Reddit account. Any confirmation Tyson Boy is her. Yeah, so through some personal sleuthing, I guess that's how you say it, I've come across this TikTok post about Ava about her dog Chief on the Chris the Meme God account. The Tyson Boy 34 account had made posts on r/aw about a dog they got as a few years ago earlier as also called Chief. Ava's old YouTube account was called Tyson Boy 34. I also believe her Twitch account, now since deleted, was also called Tyson Boy 34. Now, judging by how these are dead links to that channel, all referring to Ava on Twitter. For instance, Lava GS, which is the supposed groomed minor according to the exposed videos, added at Tyson Boy 34's Twitch channel back in 2016 here on Twitter. Overall, just a bunch of fucked up shit, what I will say, and for me, it's just like, it's more interesting to know how deep the rabbit hole goes, but also disgusting at the same time because you're finding this out by yourself. I mean, I'm sacrificing my sanity for you guys to be informed of how much of a terrible person Kris Tyson is, alright? I mean, I was on Oddwin's Discord server, we were talking about it, and it's just a whole new version or an old version of Kris Tyson that we didn't know until after this has been exposed, bro. Now, this is something that's important that I do want to mention in this video, where Pokimane and Valkyrae, when addressing Kris Tyson versus Dr. Disrespect, they posted at the exact same time to kiss up to transvestites and refuse to disavow Kris. I don't know if transvestites or vestitites is a slur, but if it is, I'm very sorry. But they went completely scorched earth on doc and on stream. Their bias is so obvious. Now, XQC did make a valid point, even though I do hate you, since you can't clean your room and you got maids that you hired to clean your desk setup. He says, I follow mostly only influential creators here, yet most have been pretty silent about Kris Tyson. Situation, pretty deviant behavior across the board. Weirdo. Can't wait to read some of the Colbert's justifications of why it wasn't addressed. By the way, next time I'm adding the whole squad, stop hiding behind the noise. Which is true. I really don't know why, and I'm gonna be mentioning these names. Pokimane, Valkyrae, Ludwig, Hassan Pike, hiker, they all were pretty silent when Kris Tyson was revealed to be a pedo, a groomer, a person that cannot be trusted, a whole ass menace on the internet. What I will tell you is that their biases when this was spewed out, okay? Now I get it, you're hesitant to talk about it, that's fine. You could have just said, F this girl, or F this person, I do not want to see him again, disgusting and just revolting. That's all you could have said. When Valkyrae said, Dr. Disgusting, where was that when Kris Tyson was exposed to be one? People in Hasanabi chat asked him to talk about the Ava Kris Tyson situation, but he refused to speak on it. Cheeto makes a post saying, 5 days ago when politics were just as interesting, he found time to speak about predatory behavior, but for some reason, our politics is just too interesting. He doesn't have time to talk about the Kris Tyson situation, and it is pretty bias specific because he talked about the Cody Ko allegation, but not Ava Kris Tyson. And I'm going to be showing you the video quickly.
Has Hassan talked about Mr. Beast Kris? Think about this. This is no different than the Cody Ko shit where people were just like, hey, I know that the current sitting president dropped out of the re-election campaign in the most historic thing that has happened in this election cycle, in a sea of historic things that have happened so far. Has Hassan talked about Mr. Beast Kris? Oh no, don't ban me. Just a question. I'm not going to ban you. I do want you to really think about it though. As a political commentator, do you think personally that right now I'm going to be talking about YouTubers? If it was someone you hate, you'd be talking about them? There are plenty of people I hate, and I don't talk about them in times like this because unfortunately for you fucking weirdo drama perverts, okay? Unfortunately for you, there are 50,000 other adults here that actually are coming in here for political
Shut your Humpty Dumpty ass up. And what do you mean by weirdo drama perverts? If I called you a pervert for knowing a lot of the Trump assassination attempt, would that make any sense? No. It really wouldn't. So why would you put yourself first talking about political drama or political news? Okay, you talked about Cody Ko's allegations, but then you don't want to talk about Kris Tyson's allegations. Are you afraid to talk about this? Are you afraid to talk about the Kris Tyson allegations? Okay, if you're saying that you are a man or you're the big boy, all right, how about you make a video about it? How about you make a tweet about it? What bias does it have to be for you not to talk about Kris Tyson? Were you paid to not talk about it? Did you sign an NDA? Did Kris Tyson send you death threats to you and your family to not talk about the situation? And you said that there's a lot of people that you hate, but you don't talk about them. Why? Or, matter of fact, send me a list, okay? Listen, my DMs are open on Twitter. Send me a list of the people that you hate so we could talk about this man to man. Moving forward, Pokimane and Valkyrae fold to pressure to make a tweet about Kris Tyson. Both make tweets at the same time. I don't know all the details regarding the Ava situation, but I want to make it clear. Any inappropriate behavior towards minors is unacceptable, regardless of who you are. I'm still in the process of moving, so I haven't been able to fully keep up, but in the meantime, since I've been tagged a bunch, pedophiles equals bad, trans does not equal pedo. The actions of one trans person does not mean all. Sucks to see so many anti-trans people act if it does. Hoping Ava speaks up. Dr. D is still gross. Lastly, to the insults that only tagged Pokey and I to speak up, quote unquote. Even though everybody did after D did himself, you're weird. Focus your hate towards the pedos for once. Alright, so this is just not adding up. Okay, so you're saying that you're calling us incels for tagging specifically Pokimane and Valkyrae. Now, mind you, I'm not the one that tagged you, okay? And man, I don't even like you, to be honest, okay? Like, Pokimane is out of touch, and you're pretty shady as well. I'll keep it a bunch. Now, again, I may be playing devil's advocate, but I swear to God, if you're saying, if Valkyrae is saying that she's in the process of moving to avoid talking about the Kris Tyson situation, then that just makes you even more shady and out of touch. And the thing is that we're just trying to understand, why are streamers so silent talking about the Kris Tyson situation? We got Dr. Disrespect, we got the creator of Mighty Magisaurs, we got Cody Ko, which I forgot to mention in my last video. Then we had Kris Tyson, we had EDP445, we had Line Maker, we had James Charles. Where is the same energy you're putting out to call out these people, and then then blame us for calling you out for not speaking out about it. Where was this energy when Dr. Disrespect was exposed to being a pedophile? Like, is it because he's part of the Mr. Beast team, or were you so shocked that you couldn't believe it till when you found out about this information that you chose to stay silent? And since you guys were part of the Mr. Beast challenge, I thought that speaking out was a lot better than staying silent and not have your voice heard. Now let's talk about the Cheeto versus Ludwig back and forth argument on Twitter, where Cheeto added Ludwig saying, "Are you planning on covering the definitive predatory behavior that Kris Tyson has engaged in?" He made videos talking about Dr. Disrespect immediately after information came out. This is a video talking about Kris Tyson's announcement of transitioning from male to female on his Mogul Male channel, where he makes commentary videos, and the two videos talking about the Dr. Disrespect situation, with the videos titled "The Dr. Disrespect Situation Got Even Crazier" and "The Truth Comes Out." Ludwig responds to this saying, "My video literally came out 2 days after Charlie's, not quote unquote immediately after information came out. I waited for document statements on Twitter and on stream, and his removal from Midnight Society. I'm literally in Paris with my family. Why y'all motherfuckers so horny for a statement? You were awfully quick," kind of a bad way to put it, "to post 2 videos on the topic. Just making sure creators keep the same energy across the board on predatory behavior. I don't know if that's being quote unquote horny for a statement. I know you and Mr. Beast are buddy buddies, so perhaps it would be inconvenient to post something that could negatively impact his brand. Appreciate the response. I wasn't quick. I was days later than most people, which I proved. I waited for enough information from both sides to make an informed video. Do you think that is a bad thing to do?" He then makes a quote tweet to his reply to a Cheeto saying, "No one respects the 4 pillars of journalism anymore." Cheeto makes a tweet saying, "People are asking why I care so much about the Kris Tyson situation. This person has had one of the largest astroturfed careers in all of YouTube history, appearing in videos with hundreds of millions of views. They have been invited to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, etc. Not only do I find their actions to be outright disgusting, but I also find it disgusting that creators are disincentivized to speak out about predatory behavior that they would otherwise condemn because it would potentially burn the Mr. Beast bridge. I also think that creators are choosing to neglect this because they don't want the bad optics of calling out one of the largest trans influencers. Ultimately, this is not about brand deals or Mr. Beast or anti-trans rhetoric. It is about maintaining consistency and unequivocally disavowing and condemning predatory behavior." Ludwig makes a response to this saying, "Why did you not reply to my question to you? Is it because you thought it would negatively impact your brand?" But Grill says, "Why are you defending a pedo, Lud? A Cheeto can post whatever he wants about the situation the same you did when Doc's situation came to light." I took these screenshots pretty recently whilst I'm making this video, with Gimmity saying, "Add Ludwig arguing no mogul male on this particular trending topic." He responds saying, "I'm in Paris commentating chess boxing, but I generally wait until there's a response to make a video. I don't care about being early if that means having less information, even if that means less views. But also, just because I'm for trans rights doesn't mean I'm incapable of acknowledging the wrongs of a trans person." Gimmity responded saying, "Generally was just asking if you were going to do one, didn't know if you were going to address a topic or not. Normally you're pretty quick about it. I respect the response, saluting emoji." Then he makes another one saying how they backtracked. "I didn't say anything other than asking a question. Now if I personally said something and then said the opposite, that would be backtracking, bud." Now this is a pretty valid response, and like I said, if this was mentioned when a Cheeto added Ludwig Ogren, there wouldn't be a whole back and forth argument on Twitter that lasted for like, I don't know, 12 tweets. But hey, it already happened, so it is what it is. Cheetah makes a post saying, "Ludwigger's taking things well with this guy named John. Now a Boomerang Heart says, 'Kill yourself, you effing F-slur.'" He responds to this by saying, "There's literally zero evidence that this is one of my viewers. Obviously that guy is an effing loser, and if you really wanted to know how my viewers felt about the situation, you don't have to go far." With a DM sent by a Cheeto on January 11, 2021 saying, "You're probably my favorite streamer at the moment." Wandering into his pants, which is a pretty weird name, saying, "Will you make a video on the Cody Cole situation?" Then he says, "Was waiting for him to reply, but he might never." Skull emoji. Mick says, "True journalism doesn't get interactions though," with Ludwig showing a nervous emoji with his fist up. Rayman says, "Boy, add Ludwig Awkward should apologize to V4 Sunny," which is apparently the Twitter account that Sunny V2 uses about the Kris Tyson situation. Also, he's been very quiet about it, but he was okay to talk about the Dr. Disrespect allegations immediately. This video was all and still a shit filler video about what Mr. Beast's legacy would be now that Kris is trans. I literally 0 points about Kris outside of being trans. Also, I didn't talk about the doc situation days after everyone else. And you attacked the wrong person. Almost nothing about your tweet was right. Clown emoji. He got responses such as, what are your thoughts on the new Ava Kris Tyson stuff? Cold-hearted, Kris is a pedo, so it's most of the trans movement. You didn't speak on it because you wanted that sweet exposure. All of you trying to ride the fence are being exposed. Hey, are you still gonna cover the fact that Kris is a pedo? I don't care about the trans stuff. I care about the degenerate behavior and the fact no big YouTuber has said anything. Will you say something? Huh? That is a hell of a sidestep to avoid admitting Kris is a pedophile and groomer. Completely dodged the Kris situation, lol. I feel like even if it was a shit filler video about Mr. Beast's legacy outside of Kris being trans, could have been given a better response about it, and regardless of like how you think about the video, whether you did or you did not watch it, it's a pretty bad sight, okay, for other people thinking that you're rooting for Kris Tyson when we all shouldn't. Okay, the way that these tweets were being made could have been worded better for people to get a better understanding of what you wanted to say in the first place. Even though there is a feature where you can edit your tweets, it's still going to make you a lot more guilty of what you initially was trying to say. Now let's hop back to Pokimane, where she made another tweet saying, it's a shame that people will see this as an opportunity to attack the trans community as a whole, which is pretty true. One person's actions does not reflect on every single trans person, so please don't view it that way. As she says, quote unquote, I don't know all the details. Why do you say the same thing for Dr. Disrespect's situation? She then responds by saying, Dr. Disrespect made a statement himself with the details. Ava has yet to do so, and I've only watched one video. Respectfully, a 10-minute commentary video is not the most accurate news source, so I'm being honest in case more information comes out. Kayman Lee says, hi Pokey, I'm wondering why you didn't have this reaction with Kris Tyson like you did with Dr. Disrespect, with a tweet that she said, yuck, with 16,000 likes under the tweet that she made initially. Now that we're done with Pokimane, we're gonna hop back to Valkyrae and see the replies that was given after she made this tweet, with Sean saying, why are you not calling her gross and nasty? Do you believe trans pedophiles are the only ones who aren't gross? All pedophiles and groomers are disgustingly and gross. Yes. Isn't this obvious? Christiana Argangel says, doesn't even mention Kris at all. Stop defending a groomer. She says, Kris is Ava and I want them to confess for their crimes. She did say this before she made this tweet saying, I'm not the most well-spoken person. It's been an insecurity of mine for many years, but I'm still trying to be more proactive in speaking about things I find important since I never have before. I do appreciate the people who look at me in a positive light and believe I have a good heart. I love my community and my friends. Anyways, back to moving. Have a good day. Jesus Martinez says, you don't have to comment on it. You're a bright person. Probably just better to let that garbage play out itself. I know I didn't have to, but I think this entire situation with what Ava has done is damaging to trans people as a whole. Anti-trans people will assume all trans are pedos and groomers, which is unfair. Grupo Vava says something like this would have been sufficient when Valkyrae says Dr. Disgusting with over 139,000 likes. Valkyrae saying, I'm entering my journalist era of a guy taking a selfie on the mirror with a gun pointing on himself. Now let's get back with a bunch of more shit he's been accused of. With Samuel saying Kris Tyson has been accused of messaging a 14-year-old on Snapchat in 2018. Below was an archive of the post. The video shows messages from Kris during the time in the conversation Kris was having in the Discord server. Apparently Kris has deleted their Snapchat. On top of that, a video of Kris sharing revenge porn pictures of Jeanette McCurdy saying from iCarly has also gone viral, which I did talk about in the beginning of the video. There's an insane amount of information and accusations coming out about Kris Tyson, which is making it a very complicated situation. This person going by name of Young No Name, Lil No Name for real, says text from 2018 between me and Kris. I was 14, he was roughly 22, with him saying my friend made a fucking school shooter threat and might give me his skins because he's grounded for life. Lol, what the fuck, for real? Yes, it was crazy. Lol, did that school expel him? With kissy emojis. Of course, dad. What the fuck? Haha, when it's your wedding, you can do what you want, lol. Once again, some pretty creepy and predatory shit, and it's like what Kendrick Lamar said and Not Like Us. The only court you're striking is probably a minor. Keemstar made a statement by saying, Mr. Beast connected me directly to Lava, the alleged Kris Tyson groomed victim, with Lava saying, I was not, quote unquote, groomed by Kris Tyson. I did not meet Kris Tyson by myself. I met Kris and the Mr. Beast crew with my family present. Lava continues saying, I read a Discord of Kris Tyson when I was 13 and edgy inappropriate jokes were said. That's it. it. Now, we will talk about the response that the alleged victim that Kris Tyson groomed will talk about in this video. What I don't understand, and I was informed about this when I dropped the video and Kris Tyson did respond and Lava made his statement too. The victim doesn't know that he was groomed and he doesn't feel like he's groomed, but he is, all right? And that's the same thing that happened when the groomed victim of Mini Lash said that this entire situation and drama needs to stop, but it needs to keep going. A lot of people need to be informed about this. So this is Lava, and he says, Kris did nothing wrong. What's actually disgusting is you guys twisting things and making me a victim, but you are a victim. It's just that you're not accepting it, which is crazy. He goes on to say, can you guys help me countering all these lies? Kris's messages to me were sent in public Discord servers / groups, so everyone is framing it as if it was one-on-one. Kris literally did nothing wrong. So the screenshot is a Cheetos video on top and Sensitive Society's video on the bottom, with Lava making this pinned tweet saying, these videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? This situation takes away from children who are actively being exploited every day online. I'm not a victim of anything being claimed in these videos or at all. It just goes on to show that with this person being a victim of the grooming that Kris Tyson did before she transitioned, this has been something that has never been viewed or acknowledged. All right, a person not admitting that they're a victim of being groomed by the said content creator that's been known on the internet. This has never happened on YouTube or internet history. The fact that he's lacking a lot of self-awareness goes to show that he doesn't want justice. Sensitive Society said, hi, you got the wrong channels here, man. I never talked about you or your situation. I didn't even know what happened. The videos in question talk about something else. I would appreciate it if you corrected it, because now people are saying that I'm spreading misinformation when once again, I didn't even talk about you or your situation. Thank you. Connor says, yeah, the Shatman stuff is really bad, but now this quote-unquote 13-year-old story is getting blasted in replacement of it, and it's a total exaggeration. It's so infuriating because Kris should be canceled for Shad, but now she's gonna be able to play victim. Sensitive Society said, I had no idea about the other situation and the 13-year-old stuff until 20 minutes ago. I didn't even talk about it. I did not know why I'm being put in this conversation in the first place. What the fuck is actually going on? SB Tweet says, how much did they pay you? Then he responded saying, $0, literally nothing happened. Redbeard Ninja says that's called grooming. You're not supposed to feel like it was wrong. Oroku Saki says, you've been groomed, man. You're a victim. You don't have to protect these people. Comp or Complete 10 says, you're a victim whether you think so or not. Kris should be held accountable for his disgusting actions. And now that we're finally done reading everything so far, we're going to be talking about Kris Tyson's response after everything that he's been accused of. And let's just be honest, there's really nothing to come back to it, okay? It's all down from the bottom of a barrel, okay? You already got your spotlight after transitioning a year ago. Now nobody gives a fuck about you, okay? Everybody wants you to die. Everybody probably doxed your location after everything has been spewed out. With everything being said, let's all read it. It starts off by saying, I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Already a lie right there. Seeing recent events would have mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. Motherfucker, I feel like being arrested is the best option. I want to add I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations at Lava GS has vocally supported that they are false. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is unacceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I continue to work on myself. I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work on Mr. Beast, which is why I stepped away. Alright, let me tell you something. It's not about your past behavior on the internet or the edgy jokes you made, all right? Now, there are some YouTubers that have said the N-word back in the day. That's because they didn't know better, or made some pretty edgy jokes that are pretty offensive to say nowadays. It's not about that. It's about you being the biggest creep, okay? Grooming minors, meeting the person in person, doing a whole picture about it when you got exposed. And yes, I'm also well aware that the person that exposed Kris Tyson with the Discord messages, meeting up the minor in person with the camper van, also supports EDP445. I just wanted to add on for other people that are asking me about that in the comments. You're the biggest creep, and you cannot be trusted, okay? Revenge porn to kids, grooming minors on Snapchat, Instagram, on Twitter, on Discord, sending revenge porn to Janae McCurdy, the actor on iCarly, Sam and Cat, the person also spoke out about being abused in the Nickelodeon behind the scenes, also making a book about saying that she's glad that his mother died, making a New York's bestseller. She might make another book saying that she's glad that you're about to die. A lot of the people in the trans community, including my trans friend Blue Fulf, okay, also known as Jade, looked up to you as one of the most well-known influential trans people after you came out. Now, they're very upset, okay? They feel betrayed. Even though they don't know you personally, or like they've been friends with you, whether it's in DMs or you met them in person, they felt backstabbed. They felt like a stake to their heart when they've been betrayed by the Kris Tyson, bro. Same thing goes for her wife. Same thing goes for her son. Everybody in the LGBTQ community, especially the trans people, okay, including my friend Jade, they want you dead. They don't want you in their community anymore. And now they're using you as an example that all trans people are groomers, they're pedophiles, and the trans people cannot get a break. They're probably getting bullied after this whole situation was spewed out. Now, I don't speak for every trans person or gay person because I'm not trans, I'm not gay, I'm just a dude. I may not relate to transphobia or homophobia. I've been through racism, which is similar but not equally the same because it's a difference between sexual identity and race, background, and religion of your skin color, basically. Getting called a slur that's specifically derogatory and racially targeted is very different for being called the F slur. The other words that are related to like lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, questioning, transgender. You get what I'm saying? And I feel bad, all right? Everybody doesn't like you. And the trans people are having it hard. This is basically the 9/11 for trans people when they found out about the situation about you. We're going to be reading the responses that Kris Tyson has released after the accusations were made. Valkyrae saying, I'm hoping for a more detailed response, but glad Ava is overall a step away from Mr. Beast's team. Disappointing and disgusting. Juice submitted an edited screenshot of his statement saying, this is all you need to say. Disappointing and disgusting. Sensitive Society makes a reply saying, so this was true, and it's a screenshot of Sunny V2's video titled Why Kris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for Mr. Beast. And I forgot to mention this in my last video, but I feel like we all owe Sunny V2 an apology, okay? We all thought this was outlandish. He didn't even respond to the controversy he started with the video. Now, back then, in my opinion, he just made a terribly bad video. I don't think he really was a bad person. I know controversial when, in retrospect, if I did say this back at the time this video was uploaded, but a year has passed, and with all of this shit coming out, I feel like this is the equivalent when J. Cole stepped out of the Kendrick versus Drake beef, and I feel like we all owe him an apology. I just know that he's dancing, just river dancing, sprawling, geeking out, just relaxing on his throne, okay, with a sigh of relief, showing how much of a king he is. We all thought he was a madman, but it turns out he was spewing out the truth. Just telling the wrong details, basically. Pegasus replies saying, you are a degenerate. Lonzo makes a response saying, you became the biggest nightmare in Mr. Beast's history, LMAO, with a screenshot of Mr. Beast replying to Relolan saying, yeah, this is getting absurd. Kris isn't my nightmare, quote unquote. He's my fucking friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off, which in retrospect is best to delete the reply after you found out about the whole situation spewing out all over the internet. Juju says, can't believe there was people defending this motherfucker with hashtag RIP Bozo with an edited picture of Venom looking at a grave with the laughing face emoji. Canadian saying, you belong in jail. Jimmy saying it's gonna be your final Mr. Beast video with an edited thumbnail and video of a Mr. Beast video saying, I left my T-word friend along with children on an island for 30 days. Keemstar responded saying, you didn't apologize to me a month ago in private when I brought up your behavior supporting the cartoon CP artist, also known as Band, that threw my 8-year-old daughter in a sexual way. What changed? Demon referencing the Kendrick Lamar song Not Like Us saying, hey Kris, I heard you like I'm young. With Sneeko hopping in saying, I told you so. 40K Who You Hate says, Kris being a pedophile distorted the trans community in 5 minutes with 2 crying emojis, with JVGC saying, I hate you so much. I hate you with every bone in my body. You were a diamond in the rough. You were an idol to me. You were proof I could persist, but you're a fucking pedophile. Fuck you, Kris Tyson. I hate you with every cell in my fucking body. Hazel Appleyard, I like your name, says, see you never, hopefully. Hope your ex keeps you well away from that kid. Matt says your apology is not accepted. Terrible Discord profile says ratio weirdo and a picture saying the age of consent is 18. Pack God steps in saying time to hit the stoop. I'm Dante even says girl bye. Matt Wallace says for anyone wondering, the past behavior Kris is referring to involves a 13-year-old. OTK who you hate makes another reply saying trans people were finally getting the respect we deserve and finally got rid of that stupid stereotype. And then it says Ava Kris Tyson with a clip of Homelander with 17,000 likes. Cayman Lee says you aren't sorry for your actions, you're sorry you got caught. Maybe you should stay away from your family too if you're just gonna groom your son like you did to the other boys. Now this is a picture of Kris Tyson's son Tucker when she gave her high heels for fun and she got a lot of backlash for it, but now she's getting even more backlash after she exposed to being a creep. Snub says, thank God, I was worried this was gonna be the next Mr. Beast video, and it's an edited one saying, I bought my best friend an island. And second to last but not least, Drama Alert makes this tweet saying, did Kris Tyson plan to screw wife over with divorce? Kris Tyson was going to get an increase in ownership following divorce from wife, according to Jake the Viking and Drama Alert X Space allegedly. Cayman Lee says you aren't sorry for your actions, you're sorry you got caught. Maybe you should stay away from your family too if you're just gonna groom your son like you did to the other boys. And this is a picture of Kris Tyson's son Tucker when she gave her high heels for fun and she got a lot of backlash for it, but now she's getting even more backlash after she exposed to being a creep. Snub says, thank God, I was worried this was gonna be the next Mr. Beast video, and it's an edited one saying, I bought my best friend an island. And second to last but not least, Drama Alert makes this tweet saying, did Kris Tyson plan to screw wife over with divorce? Kris Tyson was going to get an increase in ownership following divorce from wife, according to Jake the Viking and Drama Alert X Space allegedly.
And big news bomb. Apparently, I was being told from a very reliable source his percentage of ownership was about to drastically increase after his divorce with Katie went through.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So he was about to hustle the mother of his child, or she was about to hustle.
That's what I said earlier.
Yep.
Oh
and
my
that's
God!
a very credible source that I got that from. So yeah.
Sonny V2's getting all the praise now.
And to me, that's pretty insane. Like, she's planning to get an increase in ownership following up the divorce that she's having with her wife, bro. Being said from Jake the Viking. Now, again, this is all alleged. He did say that he found it from a very true source that he's talked about in the space that he talked about with Keemstar. So we're gonna have to wait and see if there's any more information out there. And this might not be my last video talking about Kris Tyson. There was an article made in Rolling Stone saying Ava Kris Tyson steps away from all things Mr. Beast amid transphobic attacks, saying Tyson was accused of grooming a minor. The alleged victim, now 20 years old, refuses the claims. Cayman Lee says all according to plan. Kris Tyson identified as trans so that he could get away with his dark past. Sadly, it's working. Clear evidence of pedophilia, messaging multiple minors inappropriately, but the media is running cover for him. You don't hate mainstream media enough. Transphobia ain't got nothing to do with your pedophilic actions, bro. We have the evidence. There is receipts of your accusations. You can't run away from it. The second to last thing, even though I said that previously in the video, but I promise, I wanted to show in this video, the Daily Loud makes a tweet saying Kaisenet speaks on Kris Tyson being a child predator. Quote, he's weird, bro. It's fucked up. How do you know the age of someone knowing you're a grown-ass man and still move forward? I don't understand it.
Bro, he's weird, bro. That's weirdo. Weirdo. Yes, weirdo. Yes, Kris from Mr. Beast, bro. It's fucked up. It's weird. It's weird, bro. It's weird. I don't care. That shit is weird, bro. Everybody wants to see what I have to say and shit. It's weird. Should it not be like none of that shit? Want a video? Let me see the tweet, bro. Whatever the tweet, the video. I just heard it on some blogs and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, what is going on, bro? Like, how do you know the age of someone, knowing that you're a grown-ass man, and still move forward, bro? I don't understand it. I don't, bro. I don't, gang. I don't, my nigga. I don't.
And yeah, that's gonna be it for me talking about Kris Tyson. I started this at 10:15. It is now 3:54 in the afternoon. I have not left my room. I lied. I did, to use the bathroom, to get some fresh air. I spent how long? 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 5 hours, almost 6, about this video. Okay, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's most likely gonna be over half an hour. So to wrap this up, shout out to Pat God for making this track of Kris Tyson. I'm gonna be showing at the end of the video. With all that said, if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you think about it. This is Wolf Gray. And I'm saying this, why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to suck a core, and it's probably a minor.
Daddy, where are you, Daddy? I miss you, Daddy. Please come home soon.
It's okay, kids. Listen. Oh my God.
Well, back to disrespecting kids as born as beasts. My belief that you belong inside a penitentiary. Don't take them out to dinner, you just bring a box of mac and cheese. Dirty dog, you got the fleas like you're drawing Japanese. You done disappointed all your friends, family, and fans. Then you did that on your wife, you keep it playing Clash of Clans. You a creepy fucker, whether you a woman or a man. Put Kris inside a priest, so last to leave, give him 100 grand. Hey, Kris Tyson, can I get a motherfucking assist? Call the neighborhood, watch you on the top of the list. You were supposed to act like a good example to kids. Now everybody hates you, it's just what happens to Kris. Your entire life decisions need to go and rethink. Been walking on thin ice and I ain't talking that rank. Revenge pouring in your vids while you sharing them links. I got an FBI watch list of all of your kids. Then your kid and his mommy probably just sit and watch Lolly when you lonely looking for a girlfriend in a Fortnite lobby. Josh getting you and Diddy in a pool made for kiddies, trying to get pity, fucking in my face. You must be fucking kidding. CP on the wall, couldn't even keep it in the drive. Chandler begging God, forgive what you done put in front of his eyes. You done had it on, now you falling straight to your demise. Better call him soul, jail is where you'll be staying the night. Hit it for so long, it's time for reaping what you sold. You left your kid all on his own ground, watching Paw Patrol. Dr. Disrespect, Kris Tyson.